You guys are together. I love that. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing good.
How are you?
I'm good. So let me go ahead and make sure we are recording. I love that. Already recording. And I'm excited to talk to you guys. Mike and Jean, if I'm saying that correctly. I know because it could be Jean or John or, you know.
It's Jean.
It's Jean. See, yeah. I knew, you know, especially with your Haitian background, I knew it could be either Jean or Jean. So Jean and Mike, super excited to talk to both of you guys, both Insecure alums, writer for you, Mike, and we're familiar with you, Jean, playing Issa's brother. So I'm looking at what you're working on now, Send Help, and it's so interesting, Jean, reading your bio. I'm 100% certain Send Help is about you and your, like, no question, okay? It's just two parallel. I'm seeing a lot of the same things, you coming to LA and trying to make your way to LA and on a sitcom, and boom, you're on a successful sitcom. So Send Help is a reflection of your life. Am I correct? Please say yes.
We can say yes. It's loosely based off my life. But also, as they say, what writers are always telling me is to write what you know. So I'm writing from a place that I know and I understand the nuances of it all, but also working with a group of strong writers, including my brother Mike, who allowed me to pushes me to tell some honest stories in the process, for us to be able to create Send Help the way we have.
Yeah. So you say brother Mike, is this a brother from another mother, or are you guys actually?
No, brother from another mother.
Yeah, definitely brother from another mother.
We ghetto twins because we literally have
the same birthday. We share.
Yes. Yes, I like both of you are Haitian. Both of you had a lot in common. So did you guys meet on the set of Insecure, or did you guys meet just Hollywood connections and networks and things?
We met before Insecure. We met 2016, and it was around the time that it was right before Jean got on the show.
Before we started filming season two of Insecure.
Yeah. So we met through a mutual friend who was like, okay, you're both Haitian, you're both in LA, y'all should know each other.
And you're both from the hood, so why not know each other?
Right. So then you guys saw that you both have some creative talents and can kind of, you have great synergies together and mesh well together. So was Send Help something that you guys were writing on for a very long time?
Yeah, it started, the idea, I've been workshopping this idea for a very long time. And when I got the opportunity to actually really hone it and create it, we brought Mike in and we started talking about it. And it only just made sense for us to continue this journey. It became Send Help when Mike came onto the project. And it's been growing and evolving for years, throughout the years, because Mike and I kept chipping away at it, kept working on it, kept workshopping it, kept sharpening the story that we wanted to tell.
And we were doing it between jobs too, you know what I mean? At the time, I think I was an assistant on Claws that was on TNT. So we would have the Claws writers room from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then I would drive over to his place and we would work from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. And we did that for a long time, you know what I mean? And then when the show was actually bought by AllBlk, we were doing the same thing. We were working into the night, you know what I mean? To get this done, to get this to a place where we're we're really proud of what we created, what we have.
Now that you are both you're co-creating on this together, and you've had this past, one in front of the camera, one more so behind the camera. Do you feel like that was kind of your stepping stone into creating a really good show and having, like you say, you guys tweaked it a little bit and you refined it and you said, so do you feel that having that background really helped you kind of just really hone it into what it is today?
No, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I started creating content because I wasn't getting the jobs that I really wanted. So I started telling the stories I really wanted to tell. So I've taken on the position, all right, cool. If I'm going to start producing and creating content, I have to learn what it means to be behind the camera. So I took internships. I was a stage manager for the Eric Andre show and toured with the Eric Andre show for Adult Swim. I've written in the writers' rooms on Magic for Humans for Netflix. I've PA'd. I've second AD'd. I've directed music videos and commercials. Took on those positions, DP'd those music videos and commercials as well.
Yeah. So then when it gets to a point where you're making a show, then you can bring all those experiences with you, you know? So people can't bullshit you when you're looking at another crew member and they're like, yeah, I wasn't able to do this. And I was like, well, I've done that job before. So I know it's possible, you know?
Right.
But also to the point you're making is like, it took time to develop the show for it to become what it is now. You know, if we had sold it back in, say, 2018, it wouldn't have been the right time. You know, everything happens in divine timing. I don't think would be great, effective showrunners right now if we weren't like in writers' rooms or seeing other people do it. Like I saw how Prentice did it. You know, Prentice Penny on Insecure, he showruns that show. And the way he's been able to do it and being in his room and seeing how he does it and how he works, that experience is vital, you know, to be able to create your own show and do it for yourself. So without that, I don't think we would have been in the best position years ago to have a show. So
knowing how to speak up, like watching people like Issa, watching people like Eric make their own shows and tell their own stories and run the ship on their own projects. I've been able to like lean on them and ask them certain questions that I wouldn't necessarily ask before, that I now know to ask because I've been able to see the process and watch people do that before me. You know?
I mean, how lucky is that though? Because not lucky, but a blessing, I would say, to be able to bounce off like, hey, is this a good idea, Issa? Or is this a good idea, Prentice? You know, I mean, not a lot of people, especially in the Black community, have that like mentorship or someone that you can bounce ideas off of or get additional information. So do you think that, with that being said, do you think that, you know, you guys are going to pay it forward with?
Of course. That's why we have our own production company. Basset House Pictures is about paying it forward. It's about building the table so others can sit at it with you, you know, and reaching for the people that's sitting right next to you and I'm building with them. Those are my woomies, you know what I'm saying? So we can like tell great stories together, champion great stories, and also put them in the rooms with the executives who are buying and selling shows. Yeah. So therefore their projects could see the light of day and also get some recognition for their work.
Because there are people that helped us along the way, as you mentioned, you know, we only want to be able to do that for others. So I have like a mentorship program called the Black Boy Rights and Black Girl Rights Mentorship Initiative that's geared towards helping Black writers find work in entertainment, you know. They're extremely talented, they just need the access and just need to be amplified, you know. So being able to provide that service and that type of mentorship means everything to me, because, you know, people did that for me.
Yeah, I love that. One thing that really stuck out to me, because I've been going on my journey in media, and it really stuck out, the word imposter syndrome. I know a lot of people, we've been using that now, and I never really could identify like, ooh, what is this feeling that I have of not feeling enough? And I'm pretty sure you guys are going to say absolutely, but do you guys deal with that imposter syndrome a lot?
Of course. Look, like you work so hard to be in a place, but then when you're there, you don't even feel like it belongs to you yet. You know, that's that feeling. It's like I got there, but like, am I worth this? Do I belong for real here? Because I don't know, because no one's really said you're doing a great job like that, or someone like you're
doing a great job.
Thank you very much. You're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. But like, you have that feeling of not being in on the in crowd. You always and it starts because when you got into this process, you are on the outside trying to get in.
Right.
And you're carrying that in with you during that process. And it's just a lot of self-work you have to do in order for you to finally see yourself. But it's hard to see yourself in that position because you're on to the next job with it without even being able to take that moment to reflect and see how far you've come.
Right. And that feeling doesn't go away, you know. The feeling is all about managing it, and being aware of it and proceeding anyway, you know, seeing the fear and then taking the risk anyway. It's just something you just have to continue to manage.
How do you guys like low-key manage it? Or what are some tips for someone that is, I know you said manage it, but like you're in your head so much, you know, and it's
get out of your head.
Get out of there.
Get out of there.
For me, it's journaling. And then also finding someone I can confide in. Like I confide in Mike, I confide in my partner, my fiance Randall. Like I've confided in her, I confide in my brother Mike, I confide in my sister, and just finding people that I can speak to, as well as journaling that who can like breathe life and fill your cup in the process.
And also affirming yourself, you know, affirmations, just being present, understanding that like, okay, you're doing this for a reason. You belong to be here. Just always speaking positively to yourself.
And quiet that negative voices in your head.
Yeah.
Because that thing will show up whenever it wants to show up, and in the most unopportune times.
Right.
No, I do journal like you, and affirmations. It's so weird. You both said the same thing that I do all the time. And that just helps me get through it. Like, it'll be okay, girl, snatch yourself up, you know? But so those are really solid, it's really solid, you know, words of advice. And I just want people to be able to hear it, you know, from someone. I think a lot of times people get lost in the celebrity of people and think that there's some superhuman that have no emotions, no other thoughts outside of being celebrity, when they do. So I always just like for people to say, like, you know, I am just like you. I have troubles, I have ups, I have downs. This is a job and this is the life that I chose. That doesn't mean that I don't, you know, which
is exactly what Fritz is going through in the series of Send Help.
We're
demystifying that idea that these people are this, but they're actually just us. This is just their job, you know?
What through the character Fritz is an audience or a viewer able to kind of get to know a little bit of who Jean is?
A little bit, yes. You definitely get a little bit of to who I am as well as an individual. But Fritz is like a beta version of who I once was. I'm also learning things about Fritz through this character that I am taking into my real life. Where
like what?
Like not Fritz doesn't speak about what's going on and what's happening. Whereas now I am more vocal about what's going on and what's happening. So therefore it doesn't materialize or affect other friendships or relationships that I have. Whereas Fritz doesn't speak on these things and holds a bottle in and tries to distract himself to like not deal with the emotion or deal with the feeling. I now speak on what's going on and have a conversation with whoever it is I need to have a conversation with in order for it to not fester and also materialize in a negative way. Yeah,
it's all about like trying to understand your trauma, you know, and how to deal with it. So as long as you can do that, I think you're winning, or you're on the path to healing. And that's why Jean says like this, that's the beta version of him, because you know, he's more his healed self now.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas Fritz is taking the journey to get there without even realizing yet that he needs to be healed. You're right.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Mike? Is there any moment throughout writing for Send Help that you're able to kind of express who you are or put a little bit of Mike up in there?
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, us both being Haitian American, you know, that dynamic between the mother and the son is very much a part of like my world and, you know, how I talk to my mom. But one of the more emotional episodes to write was episode 4, only because that's when we really dive into Mummy's world and what it looks like for her and what she's going through and what she's experiencing. And it just mirrored so many moms' lives that I know that are Haitian that just don't get the visibility, or you don't often see on TV in that way. So being able to like express what she goes through and show what she goes through was really a great moment, a great moment in the season.
Now that episode hasn't been released yet, has it?
No, not yet.
Okay. So I don't want to give too much away or too much of the plot away. I'm sure we're trying to keep it, keep the mystery alive. But I do know, and I see that the mother and son bond between Fritz and his mom, like you said, is really, really strong in there. So Jean, relationship with your mom, I'm pretty sure is very tight.
Yeah, relationship with my mom is really tight. Like my mom is a really supportive and great person for me, and someone that I didn't really appreciate growing up, like as a child, but as I got older, I appreciated everything she's done for us, and told her how much I appreciate it. As a child, you're like, why aren't you not coming to my games? Why are you not supporting me doing this? Why are you not supporting that? And because of that,
never came to a single game.
Never came to a single game.
My mom did.
But thing is, though, she was working.
Yeah.
She was working to support 5 kids.
Mm-hmm.
She had 2 jobs, but now as an adult, I see the work. I see what she's done. It's now time for me to be able to take care of her and hold her down, and also like show her that what she thought was impossible is possible, and that there is life after everything else, and you can make something else. You can have a second act.
I love that.
Being able to show her that and show her that it is possible, and like really speak to her on these things, like learning so much more about my mom and like asking her real questions, as if not just seeing her as a mom, but also seeing her as a friend, as someone I'm getting to know as well.
Yeah.
For me and my mom too, it's like we have a tight relationship, a tight bond. She's, extremely supportive, and she works really hard, and she works for her children. They always just work to provide for their families, and are always putting their families first, and putting their families' emotions first. So that's why we really wanted to highlight the Mummy character and express what she is going through personally, apart from everyone else and the trauma that they're experiencing.
Yeah, I love this because exactly what you said, John, same with my mom. You're like, oh, you can't come to games. But once you get older, it's like you form a different relationship with your mom and your parents, if anything, because you get to know who they are as a person and not this person that's like, you're grown already, you're raised. So now you're getting to know the inner them and the deeper aspects of them. So yeah, I think that I'd love to see that. And I love that you're putting that on camera, healthy, or, just the relationship between mother and son. It can be complicated, but at the same time, like you said, she's your rock now. And there's definitely that, I don't want to say light at the end of the tunnel because it makes it sound negative, but more so an awakening and an enlightening of who you're.
I love the awakening. Yes.
Yes. Of it. But I know that we're out of time. I can talk to you guys forever because I love knowing about the creative process. Send Help premiered on August 11th, but if I'm not mistaken, if they want to catch episodes, they can see new episodes every Thursday.
Every Thursday on AllBlk.
On AllBlk. And you have some, heavy hitters on the show. And I am encouraging everyone to just check it out because I so love how you're bridging personal and like fictional together. And yeah, it's like you're on a hit show. You want to know like what happens to those characters after, and yeah, I mean, Insecure. I'm like, why? No, but it happened and we had it, and you were part of Black history. So thank you so much, guys, for talking to me today. And
thank you for having us.
Of course, of course. And like I said, I encourage everyone to watch Send Help every Thursday on AllBlk TV. Catch up on the latest episode, which premiered on August 11th.
Yes.
Are
Are you in New York?
All right. Huh?
Are you in New York?
No, I'm in Chicago.
Oh, okay. I
I was like, pull up
tonight.
I wish I definitely would. Yeah. I need to start going over to the New York market a little bit more and tapping into that. Entertainment wise, I've been I've been to LA and I've been I live in Chicago. So and I got to actually interview Issa when the HBO premiere of Insecure came out. So that was like years ago.
That's nice.
That was
I watched a pilot episode in the audience of Urban World Film Festival when the first show.
That's what I meant to ask you that too, is like that was manifestation at its greatest or affirmation at its greatest. Like the fact that you got to say you saw it and you're like, I'm gonna get on a sitcom. And then you got on there. Like how that was like I'm like, that's such an amazing story. Did you like audition or you just was like really gun-ho?
I auditioned like everybody else, man, when the audition came across my desk in my email. And I said, I was hesitant at first, but then when I got in there, because I wasn't sure if they would cast me. And when I got in there, they end up choosing me after two audition sessions.
Oh, wow.
It worked out. And I'm super grateful that they chose me because it really changed the trajectory of a lot of things and things I was creating. And also highlighting stuff that I wanted to do and stories I wanted to tell. It gave me that battery in my back in order to really pursue the things I wanted to do as a creative outside of just being an actor.
Yes, I thought that was so amazing. It's such an amazing story that you went to the film festival, you saw it, and then you're like, I want to be on there. And then next thing you know, like, how does that even, that just blew me. I was like, that's an amazing story. And I'm glad you mentioned that. Yes to you. So congratulations, guys. This is amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. That's all I can say. It was a pleasure talking to you. I hope we get to do it again. If I'm in LA or New York, I will be definitely
next week. So I'm shooting a movie out there. So yeah, I'll be in Chicago for like 2 weeks.
Well, I'm here. I will be here. So let me know.
All right, we'll do.
Thank you so much, John and Mike. And I hope to see you maybe next week.
All right. See you later.
All right. Bye.